It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 4th day of August. Starting out a little chilly outside from what I hear here in Central Virginia. It got a little cool overnight, going to make the swimming pool a little harder to get into today. Although I do have therapy this afternoon, so maybe they'll work my butt off and I won't want to go out and get in the pool, but we'll see. Couple announcements this morning. There's not going to be a live show tomorrow or Monday. I will, what I'm going to try to do, folks, is post a video that is released right at 11 o'clock. So in the morning before I have doctor's appointments both days. So before I leave for my doctor's appointment in the morning tomorrow, I will tape a show and schedule it to be released at 11 o'clock. Pretty sure I can do that. So there'll be a show. It just won't be live on Thursday and Monday. That's my plan, at least. Saturday, looks like our guest is going to be Brandon Smith, who's the weekend cruiser. He's on a cruise almost every weekend, and he's going to chat a bit about that. He just put up a video about that several days ago. So we're looking forward to talking to Brandon about the short cruises, weekend cruises, which I've never done. I've never done a 3 or 4 nighter before. I've always opted for 7. So that'll be a little different perspective. On the Cruise Amigos Sunday, we'll have several things going on, but Melissa McCormick Davis is going to pop in, we hope, from on board Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady that will sail Saturday for the first time with paid customers. So looking forward to that on the Cruise Amigos Sunday. We're also trying very hard to get somebody on the Cruise Amigos to talk about travel insurance and the COVID rider. So we hope to do that pretty soon too. So that's it for the announcements for this morning. All right, the weather. Let's take a look at the weather. First thing, interestingly enough, there is a low pressure system right off the coast of Africa this morning, but it only shows a 10% chance of development. So a little system going to give a little rain off there over the coast of Africa, but not much beyond that. So on the map that you're looking at, you can see 2 things now. It was 3. We've got Hilda, which is the center of Tropical Storm Hilda, about 1,100 miles west of Baja California. It's now moving toward the west-northwest about 9 miles an hour. And that's expected to continue with a slight increase in forward speed by tomorrow night. Maximum sustained winds have decreased to about 45 miles an hour with higher gusts. Additional weakening is forecast during the next couple of days and expected to become a depression by early tomorrow morning and a remnant low by tomorrow night. The tropical storm force winds extend about 80 miles from the center now, and the minimum pressure has risen to 1,003. Of course, Hilda for several days was a hurricane out there in the middle of the Pacific doing no damage to anything. Now, the X storm, which used to be 9, I believe it was 9. Yeah, that would have been 9. 10's gone now. That's shower activity associated with the remnants of Depression 9E. It's located about 1,600 miles west-southwest of the southern tip of Baja. Continues to actually strengthen a little and become better organized. Conditions are expected to be conducive for development over the next day or so, and a tropical depression is likely to form later today or tonight. while the system moves north-northwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. By late Thursday, further development is not expected as the system is forecast to move over cooler waters. But for the next 48 hours, there's an 80% chance of further development. So, not expected to interact with land in any way at all. So much for the weather for the day. Why do I even talk about it? Who the hell knows? Because you guys need to know if there's a hurricane out there. That's why. All right. The lead story this morning. The U.S. Virgin Islands banned cruise ships with unvaccinated guests. With COVID-19 cases on the rise and just 35% of the population fully vaccinated, the United States Virgin Islands has made a decision to ban cruise ships from its ports unless all passengers ages 12 and up are fully vaccinated. With the new USVI edict, that's United States Virgin Islands, Royal Caribbean is now requiring that all eligible passengers must be fully vaccinated for the virus if the cruise includes a U.S. Virgin Islands port call. Allure of the Seas is scheduled to call on St. Thomas on a 7-night cruise departing from Port Canaveral on August the 8th. In a note to passengers booked on that sailing, Royal Caribbean offered unvaccinated guests a full refund or the opportunity to take a different cruise. So that's running amiss with the Florida's ruling on you can't require guests to be vaccinated. Underscoring the complications of cruising at this time, the communication from Royal Caribbean also stated that Allure of the Seas August 8th sailing will no longer call on St. Kitts, which recently restricted cruise visits to ship with a maximum of 700 passengers. As a result, Allure will now visit St. Martin instead. Earlier yesterday, the Virgin Islands was among 16 locations added to the CDC's very high-risk list with the advice to get fully vaccinated before traveling to the United States Virgin Islands. For the last 3 weeks, the number of active cases of COVID in the U.S. Virgin Islands has increased steadily, with both active cases and hospitalization at their highest level this year. Last week, Royal Caribbean added a new requirement for all passengers scheduled to sail from the U.S., including those fully vaccinated, must provide a negative COVID test. The line cited a spike in cases due to the Delta variant as the reason for that change. St. Thomas alone welcomes over 1.5 million visitors in a typical year. It has 2 cruise ship harbors, the Havensight cruise ship dock with 3 docking spots located east of Charlotte Amalie, and the Crown Bay dock on the west side of the Virgin Islands capital. It can handle 2 ships. On St. Croix, up to 2 cruise ships at a time dock by a single pier off Frederiksted, the island's second largest town. On St. John, the smallest of 3 United States Virgin Islands, there is no dock, no ships anchor in Cruise Bay Harbor, and tender guests ashore. So that's the situation from the U.S. Virgin Islands. So you got to be vaccinated if you're going on a cruise that's going to be stopping there. And the cruise ship is saying they're complying with that, so they still have the excursions. Interesting. No response from Florida yet on that one. But Royal Caribbean keeps finding creative ways to get around the state of Florida. All right. Royal Caribbean yesterday announced their schedule 4 ships that have not sailed yet. Thought I'd run over them because some of them might apply to some of you guys. Oasis of the Seas, 7-night Bahamas cruises from Cape Liberty starting September 5th. 7-night Eastern and Western Caribbean cruises from Miami beginning in November. Liberty of the Seas, 7-night Western Caribbean cruises from Galveston starting October 3rd. Serenade of the Seas, 4- and 5-night Western Caribbean cruises from Tampa starting October 16th. 7-night cruises beginning in December. Explorer of the Seas, 7-night Southern Caribbean sailings from San Juan starting November 7th. Navigator of the Seas, 3-, 4-, and 5-night Catalina Island, California, and Ensenada and Cabo San Lucas cruises from Los Angeles beginning November 19th. Grandeur of the Seas, 7- and 14-night Southern Caribbean sailings from Bridgetown and Barbados starting December 5th. Yeah, that's right, folks. They're going to be sailing from Barbados. Ovation, 2- to 10-night domestic itineraries in Australia, starting from Sydney, currently scheduled in December 13th. That one is up for grabs, not written in stone yet. Brilliance of the Seas, 4- and 5-night Bahamas and Western Caribbean cruises from Tampa, starting December 16th. Enchantment of the Seas, 8-night Bahamas sailings and 12-night cruises to the Southern Caribbean from Baltimore, starting in December. December 23rd is the first one. Vision of the Seas, 10- and 11-night Southern itineraries from Fort Lauderdale, beginning January 24th of 2022. Voyager of the Sea, 7- and 9-night cruises in Northern Europe from Barcelona, starting April 15th, 2022. Radiance of the Sea, 7-night Alaska sailings from Vancouver, beginning in April of 22. And Rhapsody of the Sea, 7-night Mediterranean and Greek Isle itineraries, sailing from Civitavecchia, that's Rome, starting in May of 2022. That's the remainder of Royal Caribbean schedule and out in the future. Switch lines. Carnival Mardi Gras. Just after 10 p.m. on Monday night, the Mardi Gras watch officer encountered a nearly entirely submerged ship with just the bow coming up out of the ocean surface. As the ship was not a known wreck and not marked on any of the charts, Mardi Gras officers took immediate action. With the powerful spotlights mounted on the ship, the captain immediately changed course and scanned the vessel for any signs of life. Neither the half-sunken vessel nor the immediate surroundings showed any signs of human life. With the ship making sudden course change and many spotlights searching the ocean for survivors, the guests on board the Mardi Gras quickly got caught up in what was going on, and many watched the proceedings and what was happening. After the ship had performed a figure 8 looking for survivors, the vessel would continue on its route to Puerto Rico. And it became, yesterday, the newest ship, the Mardi Gras, has officially made her first port of call on her maiden voyage. Of course, we know that Mardi Gras departed Port Canaveral Saturday on a 7-night cruise to the Caribbean. After 2 sea days, the ship arrived at Pier 4, the berth that Carnival Cruise Line usually uses in old San Juan, Puerto Rico, making her first visit to the U.S. territory. Interesting that the ship had to take some action. Here's my question for the day. Have any of you ever been on a cruise ship that had something like that happen? I haven't. I've been on storms and other things, but we've never run across a distress signal, a distress cruise, or a ship that was partially sunken. And you wonder what happened to the people. I'm sure they notified the Coast Guard of what was going on, but it probably went to the bottom. So, all right, let's go see who's here. I know Jack and Tom are both here early, and Jack got the news that his renewed passport is in the mail, and that's a good sign. They did say it was going to be 4 weeks, Jack said. And he got the second email that the passport has shipped. So now we'll see if the mail takes 5 weeks to get to you, Jack. And Tom Henry had bad news when he got official word that NCL had canceled his Hawaii cruise. They've rescheduled now Pride of America until January 15th. You got to wonder, Tom, why? Is it because of the new variant? Because of the numbers in, the continental United States? I don't know. I'm kind of, if we're cruising from other places, why wouldn't we go on and cruise from Hawaii? Unless Hawaii is blocking it some way. Although I haven't found anything on that one. Tom says, I saw the tea leaves yesterday and booked a backup cruise. Very good. Jason's with us. He says, howdy. Looks like you got out of Virgin Islands just in time. How do you do a cruise every weekend? Well, I appreciated his video, and he does. And basically, obviously he lives in driving distance of a port. And if you're careful with your ships, you can catch a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3-dayer or a 4-dayer and get in Monday morning early. It was an interesting video. So we'll ask him that question, Jason. Absolutely. I've always done 7-dayers. I did 1 6-dayer, but I've always done 7-dayers. So I've never done a short cruise. But if you're there and, especially if you're willing to do fill-ins at the last minute, you can probably get bargains. That's another good question for him too. Does he book ahead or does he grab it and growl? So I've got some questions for him, Jason. Cindy's with us. She says, hi, everyone. Gretchen's here. She says, hi, all. Good to have you guys, of course. Jason booked a cruise on February 13th, 2022 on the Freedom. Nice. Carnival Freedom. Going back to Carnival this time. Excellent. Spirit Airlines says I reported on 2 days ago is national news now. Yeah, I saw that. Cindy said, did you like Celebrity better than Carnival? My last booking, Gretchen says, so far, October 2023, London, Paris, Berlin, Copenhagen, Denmark, Sweden, Oslo, Rotterdam, Brussels, London. Wow. Like to do that one. Nikki says, hi from Jacksonville. Jason says, yes, Cindy, it was the best cruise I've ever been on, but that might be due to the 40% capacity. You didn't have to worry about any lines. Obviously that's a benefit. You don't have the crowds yet on the ships, that we are used to. Jason says, weatherman, Chillie. Yeah, well, I don't know. Gretchen's son booked Frontier to Orlando. Jason says that's a good idea. His wife caught the last Spirit from Las Vegas on Saturday night. Her girlfriends got stranded. Tom says was on the phone with PCC to get the November 21st Plan B set and changed for a courtesy hold to booked. Yeah, Jason says that's scary. Yeah. Emily's with us. Hi, gang. Emily, the kayaker. You know, Emily, I never got any grief from you about the kayaking questions. Did you not go back and watch that one? I was expecting a lot of pushback from you on the kayak questions from the Olympics. Tom says, hi, crazy Emily. See, I'm not the only one. Gretchen says, I wonder if Spirit's going out of business. I mean, that's what you got to start thinking. You got to assume when they do a major thing like that it's done. Tom says he smells wet doggies. Emily doesn't go to work until p.m., so it may not be raining there then. Was it Jason said the crews don't want to go to Florida? Well, yeah, I think it's probably a little more than that. But there's probably part of that story that we don't know yet, too. Jason says he almost booked an NCL Encore, but it wasn't to be. Encore's a nice ship. Lovely ship. Jason said that was a theory of his. November 21st on the Gym would be good. Thanksgiving dinner on the ship. It departs from New York. They canceled Vegas to Akron, but maybe it's a domino effect. Yeah, that's possible. JetBlue had added Richmond to Vegas and Los Angeles, but now has backed off on those. I've flown JetBlue a couple times on my trips to Florida, although I don't, for some reason, Tom, I usually don't fly out of Richmond. I usually go to one of the D.C. airports. But I've taken JetBlue a couple times from Dulles. No. The downtown one. Is that Dulles? I never can keep those airports straight. But anyway, I've done JetBlue a couple times, and they've been delightful. It's not a long flight and not a killer flight. So yeah, I've liked flying with them. I've never flown with Spirit. That one's not in my wheelhouse. Jason said he did the math and got an 8-day for what he would pay for a 7-day on Encore. Well, that's yeah, that happens too. Tom said he saw posts yesterday on some Royal Caribbean cruisers. Had cruises canceled for mid-2022. How is that with the news of all the fleet deployment? I didn't have anything specific on cruises was canceled. I just went with their schedule that they sent me, which is basically I just read directly off of Royal Caribbean's information on the deployment schedule. And yes, some of those ships aren't going until 22. Gretchen says she's flying United to Florida from Cleveland, but that's not until December the 4th. Assuming we're still flying this fall. Folks, I tell you what, I'm starting to get worried that we're going to be getting back in a hole with this Delta variant unless we get a whole lot more vaccinated quick. Emily says, I was asked to pet a particular dog here and there because the silly dog won't come out of the crate. The door is open, but she would not come out. Huh, okay. Gretchen says, is this all COVID? That's a good question. I'm thinking yes. And because of the regulations, Gretchen. Jason says, I say someone gets arrested for losing their mind in Terminal 4 of Fort Lauderdale a few days ago. Yeah, I saw that one too, and I'm really surprised that hasn't happened already. But I think you're going to see that happen. Jack says, years ago, I had a friend aboard Braniff when it filed bankruptcy. His plane made an unscheduled stop for passengers to deplane. Years later, he repeated the experience on Braniff's second bankruptcy. Wow. That's definitely a bad luck run. Cindy's booked on Independence of the Seas in February 28th of 22. Nice. Carnival's known for saving ships at sea. Yeah, that seems to have happened more to Carnival. At least they've talked about it on several occasions. Gretchen says, I've got December 4th, June 11th, 22, September 17th, 22, and September 22nd, 23. I need to fill in some gaps. Wow. Nice, Gretchen. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Again, keep in mind that no live show tomorrow and no live show again on Monday. I will post a video, schedule it at 11 o'clock with the day's news. And of course, Jason with today's tomorrow's news and tomorrow's weather forecast. So we'll go on at 11 o'clock tomorrow, even though I will not be live. So just reminding you guys of that. So I will see you back here on Friday. That's what I'll do. That's it for today, guys. You guys have a terrific day. Glad so many of you were chatting away in the chat box this morning. That's awesome. And as always, folks, little thumbs up. That's always helpful. You guys have a great day. I'll have a video posted tomorrow morning and then see you guys on Friday morning. Later, y'all. I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.